Eileen's got me, and up rides on a white horse. Ghislaine Maxwell. She rides up on a white horse, and she's in like British tan, like equestrian attire, like a Ralph Lauren ad. And I'm like, God, this woman's amazing. And she gets off the horse, and she's just chatty and so charming. And Eileen's like, just loves her. And so I thought, wow, she's a pretty neat lady. Like, here the dean thinks she's great. I can trust her. And some people, yeah.
It sounds like he used presents, gifts, and promises to leverage people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I had a really disturbing experience, Edward. You asked when it got really dark. Well, like my third time visiting the office, I walked in and it was dark, and I had just been jogging, and I was wearing my, running shorts, but my legs were exposed because I had on running tights, and I had to jog up there because I didn't have the money to even take the subway. I mean, it's like, this is how bad these people were. And so I'm in his office, and in walks Donald Trump. Trump!
So metaphorically, Terramar is a country with citizens.
Right. All citizens of the world are citizens of Terramar, or citizens of the high seas, if you will.
And so I'm in his office, and in walks Donald Trump. And he walks in, and he's across from me, standing there kind of smirking and staring at my legs. And then Jeffrey walks in, and he says, no, she's not here for you. And he signals him. And Donald Trump goes in the other room.
Well, can you repeat what you heard Jeffrey Epstein say to...
She's not here for you.
She's not here for you. Jeffrey Epstein said this to Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
When you
I was a slave. Yeah.
So at this point, you were introduced formally to Jeffrey Epstein. He offered you a job of some kind. While you were in that home you were mentioning, Maria, did you see any weird pictures, any weird art? I mean, you're mentioning that you really got the inside look at some of the elite that run in this circle. Was there anything weird they said to their kids?
A lot of weird stuff. Yeah, a lot of creepy stuff. One day I asked Jeffrey to show me his place, and he showed me upstairs where I asked him to show me where he spends all of his time. And so he shows me the upstairs, and it's on the very top floor. And it used to be a boys' school, and then Wexner bought it. The irony is so thick.
New York police raided, or the six? There were two homes, right?
Right.
Mr. Wexner had two homes, and one of them ended up in Ghislaine Maxwell's possession, right?
Okay. That's right. And I asked him to show me where he spent all this time, and it was a bathroom. And in the bathroom it was all gray and white marble, and there was a huge old-fashioned skylight, like glass and leaded. It was beautiful. And right above it, right underneath it, was a giant tub, and he had like creepy prop things, like prosthetics, and he had this. I thought, well, he's very sick, obviously, like something's wrong with this man.
So the raids of Jeffrey Epstein's New York house, his private island, they were bound to turn up some really creepy and bizarre things, along with some really damning evidence. But right now, all we've got are just some really creepy things. And one of the creepiest things so far that we have found is the fact that in his Manhattan townhouse, his $56 million Manhattan townhouse, he had an oil painting that people who have been there described as right when you walk in the door, of Bill Clinton lounging in a chair, I guess seductively you would call it, wearing a blue dress and red heels and pointing straight ahead at whoever is looking at the painting.
I never in a million years honestly thought it could be this man is doing something with children, because he was so charming, and that was their thing. Like, they were very charming. But I can tell you, Edward, all the people who knew him well knew darn well what he was doing. They all knew. The people in his black book, there's no way they did not know. There's no way. Because once I was around him enough, I figured it out. They figured it out. And they knew him for years. And they're still all friends, all of them.
Because we're losing a lot of people because of the internet. And we have to do something. We have to go see Bill Gates and a lot of different people that really understand what's happening. We have to talk to them, maybe in certain areas, closing that internet up in some way. Somebody will say, oh, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. These are foolish people. We have a lot of foolish people.
Many instances, people that worked for me just the other day, 2 years old, 2.5 years old, a child, a beautiful child, went to have the vaccine and came back, and a week later got a tremendous fever, got very, very sick, now is autistic.
Tell parents about getting their kids vaccinated. Measles, not the measles. Tell parents about that.
They have to get the shot. The vaccinations are so important. This is really going around now. They have to get their shot.
Mr. President, do you still love WikiLeaks?
I know nothing about WikiLeaks. It's not my thing.
The more emails WikiLeaks releases, the more lines between the Clinton Foundation, the Secretary of State's office, and the Clintons' personal financiers, they all get blurred.
I know nothing really about them. It's not my deal. As getting off the plane, they were just announcing new WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks.
I love WikiLeaks. It's like a treasure trove. I know nothing about WikiLeaks. It's not my thing. This WikiLeaks is like a treasure trove.
This just came out. WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks.
I know nothing really about them. It's not my deal in life.
As legitimately.
It's not a birth certificate, Candy, and people are trying to figure out why isn't he giving his birth certificate. It's not a birth certificate. A certificate of live birth, and you can see that one that you have and the one that I brought you, because that's the one that's on the internet and all over the place. It doesn't even have a serial number. It doesn't have a signature. It doesn't have a signature. One that I saw on television has a stamp. But that's not a signature.
Right, but that's how they
Excuse me, but that's not the one that they were showing to everybody. And I just say very simply, why doesn't he show his birth certificate? Why doesn't he show his birth certificate?
I'm starting to wonder myself whether or not he was born in this country.
So I have people that actually have been studying it, and they cannot believe what they're finding.
He gave a birth certificate. Whether or not that was a real certificate, because a lot of people question it, I certainly question it.
Today, in his reversal, Trump didn't admit he was wrong, didn't say he was sorry, and didn't tell the truth when he said this.
Hillary Clinton and her campaign of 2008 started the birther controversy.
She didn't
say
say
it was a misinterpretation.
Excuse me, they drowned her out. She was like, there were a lot of people in that room, and she said, Kenya, he was born right here. And then they started saying, screaming, no, 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 you mean Hawaii, you mean Hawaii. There's a lot of crazy things. Look, I don't like to talk about this issue too much because I really would rather talk about China. I would really rather talk about what OPEC is doing to destroy us. I would really rather talk about other things. But I'll be honest with you. I started this. I started this. Hillary Clinton
And her campaign of 2008 started the birther controversy. I started.
Good evening. Today, Donald Trump publicly acknowledged what most Americans have accepted as the truth for years, that President Barack Obama was born in the United States.
President Barack Obama was born in the United States, period.
We now have video of President Trump speaking to reporters aboard Air Force One today. Let's listen in.
Well, I'm going to study it, and we're going to take a look. We're going to take a very serious look at that.
Mr. President, did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Mr. President, did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Then why did Michael Cohen make it if there was no truth or allegation?
Well, you have to ask Michael Cohen. Michael's my attorney, and you'll have to ask Michael.
Following a series of dizzying legal developments yesterday, the president said today he did know about payments to women who said they had affairs with him, but only after the fact, and said it was all legal.
Pressure is being ramped up on evangelical Christians to defend their support for President Trump, as left-wing pundits call them hypocrites for supporting the president amid the allegations from adult film star Stormy Daniels. Joining me now, Juan Williams, co-host of The Five and a Fox News political analyst, and Pastor Robert Jeffress, pastor of the First Baptist Church in Dallas, Texas, and a Fox News contributor. Good to have both of you here. Pastor, I'll go to you first. What do you make of evangelicals being called hypocrites in the wake of these allegations?
Well, it's absolutely ludicrous. Look, evangelicals know they're not compromising their beliefs in order to support this great president. And let's be clear, evangelicals still believe in the commandment, thou shalt not have sex with a porn star, okay? We're still agreed on that. However, whether this president violated that commandment or not is totally irrelevant, totally irrelevant.
Because now you have the lawyer for the president, Michael Cohen, saying, oh, you know what? Not only did I pay $130,000 to try to silence the woman, now I'm trying to get an injunction or some kind of arbitration to stop her from talking yet again. Secondly, you have Sarah Sanders at the White House speaking out. And third, Stormy Daniels suing the president. Okay, so not only suing the president, but saying possibly she has text messages, pictures, or property. I don't.
But as of
how
now,
do you get away from that?
Allegations. Go ahead, Pastor.
What I say to that is, look, even if it's proven to be true, it doesn't matter because of what. Even if it's proven to be true, it doesn't matter because of what I just said.
And that's one of the number one reasons why we voted for Donald J. Trump, for him to be president of the United States, because we knew through him he will drain the swamp. Drain the swamp.
Hillary's a great friend of mine. Her husband is a great friend of mine. They're fantastic people. I mean, the thing, they get a bad knock. She's a very nice woman. We know all about the smarts and how smart they are, but they are good people. I know her husband very well, and I like them both. And they are, just really terrific people.
Take it as Hillary Clinton thing. You think she's going to run?
Well, I think
fellow New Yorker.
Yeah, and I know her very well. They're members of my club. And
I knew Donald Trump. I represented New York. I got to know him.
You were at his wedding?
I was at his wedding. That's right.
The difference is that she, look, I say this time and time again, but the difference is that she
has the nomination practically wrapped up.
Like, I think this government has on Hillary, like I hope Jeff Sessions is pursuing as it relates to Hillary.
Well, so I heard that a long time over the last campaign.
Is it like professional wrestling where you guys all pretend to dislike each other to win these elections, and then you're all pals behind the scenes?
And maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe Hillary will just get away with it. I know a lot of people say there's been no arrest.
He thinks you're a terrific woman and you were doing a good job, which is a bold thing to say about Hillary Clinton on Fox News.
But trust the plan coming out of Hillary Clinton. What? More open borders? Abortion on demand? Take the guns? More?
Any weapons in the possession
or
of that
might
individual.
take the firearms first.
At least he got in, and they dismantled that 7th floor shadow government that Hillary set up. In her own words, that's what it was in the State Department on the 7th floor. It's gone. I just know that it would have been game over with Hillary. And I like to see our cup as half full.
Bill Clinton was a great president. You know, you look at the country then. The economy was doing great. Look at what happened during the Clinton years. I mean, we had no war. The economy was doing great. Everybody was happy.
And these bigger issues, because that's all I ever used to talk about. I don't know. I just know that I have 4 kids, and if that witch was in the White House right now, it would have been game over.
There is Ivanka and Chelsea, young mothers and friends on the New York social scene.
We're children and we love our parents, so that's the great equalizer, and that's the great common ground.
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex. Say sex. Sex.
I'm in his office, and in walks Donald Trump. And he walks in, and he's across from me, standing there kind of smirking and staring at my legs. And then Jeffrey walks in, and he says, no, she's not here for you. And he signals him. And Donald Trump goes in the other room.
Well, can you repeat what you heard Jeffrey Epstein say to...
She's not here for you.
She's not here for you. Jeffrey Epstein said this to Donald J.
Donald Trump, the sitting president. That's right.
1995? Is that when this happened?
1995.
Wow.
1995.
However, whether this president violated that commandment or not is totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So Donald Trump goes, I've told every news network this. No one cares. I've told every news network all about the Wexners. You guys and Whitney Webb and a few people are going to tell the truth, but no one else is. And that's why I'm coming to you guys before I start chemotherapy on Friday. I never in a million years honestly thought it could be this man is doing something with children, because he was so charming, and that was their thing. Like, they were very charming. But I can tell you, Edward, all the people who knew him well knew darn well what he was doing. They all knew. The people in his black book, there's no way they did not know. There's no way. Because once I was around him enough, I figured it out. They figured it out. And they knew him for years. And they're still all friends, all of them.
Blue dress in my closet.